Little update on the pirate boat that I'm working on. I've actually put some filler to fill in the final little bubble holes that were left over. When that's dry, I'll sand it down a bit. And then we're going to have to start carving out in here to get the motor and the radio control gear and the battery in there. With hindsight, if I'd have thought about this before, I'd have actually set a metal plate in the bottom there to give it some weight to hold it down. So it doesn't tip over. But then I'm not going to put a sail on it. I'll put the masts back on, but I don't think I'll put a sail on it. So there shouldn't be any reason for it to want to tip over, as long as we keep the battery as low as possible. Anyway, we'll leave that to dry and then sand it back. A bit more of an update. Still haven't trimmed any of this out yet, which I'll do in a minute, I think. The bottom, I did actually put some filler over the remains of what I'd trimmed and varnished and all the rest of it, because it was still pretty rough. Fillers filled that in, and then I've put a couple of coats of red paint on it for no other reason than I had some red paint. Still haven't decided what I'm going to do motor-wise on this. Whether to just have a single propeller coming out and a rudder on the back to steer it, or have twin propellers and we can steer it with differential thrust. I'll think about that. What I was thinking of doing now, just to make a bit of progress here, is to actually cut some of this foam out so we can get this to sit down properly, because I did show you it had expanded too far on one side and it doesn't sit down. So carefully, without cutting my fingers, I'm chatting away. I've probably cut the audio off on the actual video when I edit it and fast forward this. Tell you what, this is quite therapeutic, as they say. Well, that sort of fits. Still got to trim a little bit more out there. That's not sitting down quite right. I think that'll do for today, just as an update. Got a bit of red paint on there. Not blood. I'll clean it up later. Yeah, so which way are we going to do this? 2 propellers or 1 propeller and a rudder? 2 propellers would be quite easy. I did a radio controlled duck using 2 propellers. I just need a little plate underneath with the 2 motors coming down and sticking backwards. That might be easy, because then we can just glue a plate on there with the 2 motors sticking backwards. Or I can mount them inside and just point them backwards. we'll think about that in the next video, whenever that is. I guess we ought to do a quick flotation test. It's hardly sinking in the water at all. So I think we can add quite a bit of weight there with motors and radio gear, or at least I don't think it will notice the weight. We'll see. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave me a comment so I know how I'm doing.